You know, one of the things that the pandemic pointed out to me was how much I love having bands in studio. So when I went a couple of years without having any faces on the opposite side of me to talk about their bands, their songs, it stunk. So I am incredibly glad that we are back to an open world where bands can come through. And tonight, over at Off-Broadway, Giovannie and the Hired Guns playing a Birthmonth show. And joining us in the studio, we have everybody. We've got the entire band. Gentlemen, welcome to St. Louis and welcome to the Point Studio for the very first time. It's great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Great to be here, Donny.
No, man. So one of the first things that I always kind of wonder when I'm meeting a band that I'd never, met before was music always the path for you guys, or were there plan Bs? Were there parents that said, oh, this music thing is fun, and that's great, have fun with it, but here's how we're going to pay the bills, all right? Was that the case for everybody? Did you always want to be musicians?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to school for it. I was going to school to be a band director and then ran into Geo while I was in school. So it was music in some way.
Yeah.
Every single way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when did it get serious? Like to the point where we're like, all right, guys, we can do this. Like there's no reason why, how long ago was that?
Probably 5, 6 years ago, maybe.
We started on the path.
Yeah.
I think right after releasing Bad Habits and selling out, probably about 6 months to a year after that, selling out Blue Light after release Bad Habits.
Yeah, a little venue.
Yeah,
man.
getting a taste of selling Blue Light was probably gas all the way down, point of no return. We all knew it.
Yeah, we were like, bro, all 150 people are singing our songs. Yeah, dude.
But that's so great, though, man, because those are building blocks.
Absolutely.
And you got to have, you got to taste that success to want to, to get super serious about it. So, okay. So we're in a band. We're starting to get serious. All right. So at what point, and we're fast forwarding, we're doing a bunch of jumping around because that's what I do in my interviews. But at what point does it get to be to where the management company for Green Day, Weezer, Lorde, Fall Out Boy are coming to you and want you to sign with their management firm? And what was that like?
It was about a year and a half ago. And our booking agency, Red 11, John Folk, like the owner of the branch in Nashville, like, me and him has been really good. Like, he signed us as artists without even seeing us play, just by hearing what other people had to say about us. So he just went out on a limb and signed us to his booking agency. Well, then I get a phone call, and he's like, hey, man, I'm out here in Nashville. I hung out with these guys at this loft, and we're partying, blah, blah, blah. I think these guys are the right fit for you. Me thinking, like, okay. Like,
sure.
But we were about to, we were kind of...
So you were
we were stepping up to, man, maybe we need a manager because what's the next step for us to,
right?
Building blocks like you were saying. And,
right.
And I was driving home. I was hauling butt trying to get home because I didn't want to be late for this meeting. And I had to pull over. Like, I was maybe 10 miles from my house. I had to pull over on this dock, like where you dock boats to get into the river.
Right.
I pulled in there. I parked my truck and I had the meeting with Crush. And it was Griff Morris, Bob, and the meeting that we had. And then John Folk was in it, and it was just like, it was nuts because I didn't think, at the time, I was just talking to somebody. I didn't really look into who they were.
Right.
And then they were just like, yeah, man, we can talk about it a little more. And then that was that. And then it was just like, John calls like, man, you know who those guys were? And I was like, no. And he was like, bro, look up Crush and call me back. And I was just like, and I remember calling back, I was just freaking out. Like, I can't believe these guys want to like work with us, man. It was insane. It was so awesome.
Right. And there has to be that sense of, oh, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is the business aspect where you do have to be like, okay, I can't geek out about this right now. These guys have to be good business for us too. But they very much,
Absolutely.
you are one of their priorities. I can tell you that firsthand.
Yeah,
and that's really all that a newer band really wants, right?
Yeah, and it's awesome. Like, whenever we went and did this, like, I talked to them before, and, before we did anything, and I just liked their vibes because they asked me questions that I'm just like, man, nobody's ever asked me that before. And
yeah.
It's kind of like I had to think about it extra hard and just You know, so it was awesome, and I love them, man. They've treated us so good,
and that's great. And that trust is super important. So I read this about the song that we're about to play, Ramon Ayala. All right, it is the first song in 15 years that a band had a #1 on their first time on the alternative and active rock charts simultaneously. Wow. So the first band in 15 years to be #1 on those two charts. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man.
And you're dealing with a lot of douchebag music guys like myself on top of that, which makes it even that much more impressive. All right, so let's do this. Giovannie and the Hired Guns tonight over at Off Broadway.
Yes.
There are a few tickets still remaining.
Yes.
Go down there and see this band. And also, too, I love Off Broadway. I love that as a place as well. So we'll be back with Giovannie and the Hired Guns here at 105.7 The Point. Giovannie and the Hired Guns playing tonight over at Off Broadway. The guys are joining me here in the studio. So you guys, I feel like you did the bar band sort of deal for quite a while, right? So you did your share of big, long evenings, multiple sets.
Oh, yeah.
Drunk, rowdy crowds. But I feel like doing that, as much as it's easier for me to say as the guy that would not be on the stage, I would bet you learn a lot about just putting on a show, all kinds of things by doing that. I would imagine dealing with a rowdy audience member for you now is nothing. Right. After you have some practice doing that. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You can kind of tell which ones are going to be jerks and which ones are just there to
be fun.
Be fun, yeah. I mean,
right. So. But what else do you think you guys picked up in that process? Or was it just straight like a practice situation? You were able to get better at your craft?
Yeah, patience and not worrying how many people is in that bar. Mm-hmm. Just worrying about yourself and, yeah, man.
Whether it's 10 people or 1,000 people.
Yeah, we'll play the same show if there's 10 people, if there's 1,000 people in that room. It's not going to change.
Yeah. Why did you name the album Tejano Punk Boys?
Man, it was kind of like a little thing that me and my cousin were throwing around. Like, what's the next album going to be called? And blah, 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 blah. And it was just kind of like, what about Tejano Punk Boys? And I was just like, bro.
You got
what?
That's fantastic.
Yeah, man.
So he's already your cousin, but he should get something cool for coming up with the album title, man. Absolutely. I mean, something.
Absolutely.
Like a plaque. I mean, there's got to be there's got to be something for the cousin. Right. Well, he's probably going to get that anyway if he's your cousin, for goodness sakes. Let's do that. Let's do the follow-up single. I love this song, Overrated. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely fantastic. It's shooting up the charts right now. Tell us about this song. What's the genesis of this thing?
Yeah, man, I think we got the chorus, and our producer had the chorus, right? So everything else we just needed to just tell the story on why she's calling you overrated, you know? And then we threw around the idea of just, our old ladies, like, just...
Yeah. You know what I love? Here's what I love. People that are able to write songs and write music. It's so easy, and maybe easy isn't right the word, but it happens for you. So you just kind of make it seem like I just did this. Like, I just wrote a song. I could sit in this room for 100 million hours in a row, and there would be no way that I could ever come up with anything. So I love the talent. Let's do this. Giovannie and the Hired Guns. It's Overrated. See him tonight at Off Broadway. That is Overrated from Giovannie and the Hired Guns. They will be at Off Broadway tonight. Tickets still available. Only a few left, though. Go out and see the Tuesday night rock show. And, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to hang out with you for a little bit. You're wonderful dudes. It's very easy to root for you and like the music all at the same time. I like when it comes together that way.
Yeah,
but one thing that I would like from you guys before you get out of here today is all month long we are celebrating 30 years as a radio station. And thank you very much. Yeah, and every day this month, we have had a different Birthmonth artist of the day that we have featured. And today, that band is the mighty Metallica. All right, one of the greatest rock and roll bands in the history of mankind. But just was kind of curious, like, are you guys Metallica fans? I mean, have you always been Metallica fans? Is there any one thing that sort of sticks out that you love?
Yeah. Go ahead, Carlos.
Yeah. I speak for me and Gio. We've been Metallica fans since I can remember. I mean, I was listening to Metallica before I even knew who Metallica was because of, Gio, and he's my cousin, so we grew up together, and then hanging out with my other cousins too. It's just Metallica's been a part of my life since I can remember.
And it seems like they continue to kind of reinvent themselves
No doubt.
in a way that it's still very much Metallica, but it's new. Like, I love this new song, Lux Eterna. I think it's fantastic.
It's good.
It is, man. And I'd say, and I've heard from somebody that works with the band that, like, Robert is a real driver there as far as getting the band to do new stuff. And I just love it. And if you have not seen Metallica, which I'm sure you guys have at this point, right?
We got seen it
Yeah, we saw him at Lollapalooza.
It was fantastic.
Get
That
out.
was.
And how many people are watching them at the same time?
God, I don't even know.
Right.
Like, you look back, just like a sea of people.
Yeah, it's
It
just,
was-
it's something
And like
else.
we were like, we got lucky enough to they let us walk in like the middle of like how it's like the
Is it the
crowds on
snake
each
pit?
side, like crazy are on each side, and then
Yeah.
like that, so the security can pull people out of the crowd. Like we got to walk all through there and just stand and just watch Metallica, man. It was insane.
And that's the thing, is that when you see those guys, they are still playing at an exceptionally high level. All of those guys. So it's really something else. So I know you guys had said For Whom the Bell Tolls was kind of like a band favorite. Is there a particular reason why, or just we go badass song?
Oh, we used to walk out to it, huh? Yeah, we used to walk out like whenever we would fade it out, we just boom go into it, man. So
I like
and
it.
it's an amazing song, man. It's the riff in it is just, oh my God, it's awesome. All of it. Yeah.
Well, guys, I absolutely loved having you in here today. I hope the next time you come to St. Louis, you can stop by again and say hello.
Absolutely, if you let us, man.
Oh, absolutely. That's done. Giovannie and the Hired Guns tonight at Off-Broadway. We close this thing out with their Metallica favorite, which is For Whom the Bell Tolls, Birthmonth Artist of the Day on 105.7 The Point.